Welcome to the Two Act Podcast, where we cover all things anime, cinema, and TV. I'm gothjon, and as always, here with Adi. Today we're going to cover one of my very favorite animes, Sono Bisque, better known as My Dress-Up Darling. A boy that doesn't have very many friends befriends the popular girl in class, who he finds out is extremely into cosplay. In his struggle to find friends, he ends up helping her create her cosplay. This week, find out if My Dress Up Darling is worth the hype. Well, Adi, what are your first impressions of My Dress Up Darling?
I think there's something oddly fascinating about watching two people who are so different from each other be so compatible with each other. And it's, if you watch, like, I think this is like what is it more leaning towards slice of life or romance anime or a bit of
I think
both?
it's a bit of both. Being that this is my third rewatch, because I watched it in Japanese, English dub, and then English dub again, just because I liked it so much. It really does. It's kind of like that fine line. It's kind of like how we watched Oshinoko, where it's like sort of like slice of life, and then like sort of like a mystery at the same time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this one does it a lot better at like skating that thin line of like rom com and like slice of life, because it doesn't go too hard in the rom com stuff.
No, it's fairly breezy watch for the most
Yeah.
part.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, Something you can watch in a laid back fashion. What I like about the show is, so I like the cosplay bit. I think
Mm.
that's a nice unique angle to explore in an anime. And I think it works well with anime because let's face it, everyone loves cosplaying. If you're into anime, you must have cosplayed at least once in your life or thought about doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
you ever cosplayed? Are you telling me something?
yeah, I have a few, but
Cool.
that's a story for another day. But
Okay. Well,
what was
I
I gonna say?
definitely have.
Oh, you're the anime con expert. I'm sure
Yep. Yep.
you got like a vault full of
I wish.
legendary
Cosplay is
items.
expensive. I have two
Yeah,
outfits.
only two.
Only two. My
Okay.
if I'm feeling very boring, I have one that I dress up as Rick from Rick and Morty, and then my I want attention is I dress up as Madoka from Madoka Magica.
Right, right. Oh yeah, I remember we covered that. Now that I think
Many
of it,
many
it
episodes
it
ago.
was it was yeah. Oh, did I like the? Do you remember if I liked it? Because
If you like
I'm a bit
Madoka,
hazy.
I think you did. I think you gave it like
I
a
did, right?
7
I
or
thought
8.
it was.
Yeah.
I thought we both agreed it was something
Yeah.
different for its
Oh yeah, for
genre,
sure. For sure.
and that's an important point to bring up because when you look at Madoka Magica, magical girls is a genre, isn't it? Well, what's it
Mhm.
called in Japanese? It's referred to as
Mahojo Shoujo.
exactly. That's the word I was trying to remember and
Mhm.
failing miserably. But that still fits within like magical girls aimed more for what? Girls? The target audience is more like young
Typically,
females?
sometimes you get a one that's a little bit more for guys because they sexualize the magical girl aspect. Like there are
Yeah,
some shows like that.
yeah,
But typically magical girl shows they're shoujo, which it means like a young girl or young woman. It's not
right.
like a shonen that's for like young boys.
Like teenagers, like your
Yeah.
average Demon Slayer, whatever, Chainsaw Man
Yeah,
type of
Dragon Ball
show.
Z fan, yeah.
Right, right. So, but still, I think when we talk about Madoka, it still did something maybe not crazy groundbreaking, but it did do something where it broke free from that mold,
Mhm.
especially that third episode where you mentioned that major death. Sorry, no spoilers, but it's
It's
very vague. But but still, it does things that are something you could classify as being really bold and risky
Mhm.
for its format. But if you compare that to My
My
Dress Up
Dress is
Darling,
Darling.
I think My Dress Up Darling doesn't really do anything like that. It doesn't try
No.
to break free from what it is. I think it's fairly comfortable being Like if you've seen a lot of romance animes or slice of life, it follows most of the tropes that you
Mhm.
must be aware of. It doesn't try to do anything different. I mean, it's more about moments than a story, if
Right.
you get what I mean.
Yeah, you're
But
getting
the
more of what like show like a daytime show like Friends, like it's more of like a will they won't they type of thing. At
yeah.
least that's what you're getting so far in the anime. I don't know if later seasons in the future they, they butt up their relationship more. They're still like they're kind of dating but like kind of not at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of like undefined in a way
Yeah.
where they've not really expressed it verbally, but you know when it comes to the behavior or the emotions, it's as good as them being together.
Right.
But but
They do
but not
spend
they've just
almost
not.
all their time together.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess the cosplay bit is what ties it together, but
Mhm.
do you want to give a bit of an intro on both the main characters?
Sure.
Go
Sure, I can do that. Yep.
Gojo Wakana, I believe,
Yep.
and Mar.
So Wakana is his first name. Gojo is his family name. Wakana Gojo is a guy that has zero friends, at least at starting, until he meets Marin. He's someone that had a friend make fun of him in his childhood so bad that he kind of like became like a recluse into himself. And he's a huge nerd about Hina dolls. They're like these little like porcelain like type dolls that you like
Russian dolls,
put
kind
the
of like.
makeup on and all that. And that
Yeah.
he gets his feelings hurt so bad by this girl that he doesn't want to make another friend until high school, which is Marin. And he's a good boy. He's innocent. And I feel like he needs to be protected. And then you have Marin on the other hand. She's the cool girl that everyone wants to be friends with, but she's such a tease. And I kind of love it. Like, and she's a super fan about like anime and eroge, which is like hentai games. And she's unabashedly ashamed to be herself. And it's so very inspiring. Like, I kind of see myself in Marin. So at times I can be like an extremely outgoing person and I can get a little maybe too excited about something. And if I find out you're into anime, we will have an hour conversation. Or if I find out, you're really into cosplay or something, like I'm really interested in like your whole process to make cosplay because I don't have that ability or skills.
Yeah, I can see why this is right up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I showed this anime to my girlfriend because I was like, we are like these two. Like we are both huge into anime and she has, like you said, that wardrobe of cosplay.
Mm,
Maybe 20 feet from me, she has a carousel of different cosplays. So
wow,
that's why I definitely this is an anime for me.
that's cool. That's cool. I mean, yeah, I really must say, I mean, the only thing that really invested me was the two characters because
Mhm.
without them, nothing really works. I think their dynamic is, it's not what you usually get. It's like
Mhm.
always, usually it's always the guy trying to chase the girl, isn't it?
Right.
Like in this
Yes.
case, I think Wakano Gojo, or you want to call him as,
Call
he's
him
just
Gojo.
he's kind of like introverted,
Yeah.
up to himself, extremely sensitive, but
Mhm.
also really sincere and committed to what he likes to do.
Mhm.
And his niche is this, like, he was raised by his grandfather making
Yep.
these dolls, and they have a shop that they sell these things.
Mhm.
So, and I think that's just a bit unusual when you look at, like, what I like about the characterization is like they do something different than the usual stereotypical male character stuff that they do. Usually the guy's always like, I don't know, into sports or
Right.
really athletic, or he's trying to be a jock, or he's just, he's got like a much more masculine personality. But Gojo is just a lot different. He's more sensitive, he's more creative and artistic. But he's a bit too cocooned in his own life. He's
Yeah,
not.
she's a sheltered boy.
He's a sheltered boy,
Yeah.
exactly. And when Marin takes particular interest in his life, it kind of like opens up a new avenue that he never really thought he could have, that kind of a life where he could be friends with someone at his school, but because I believe he doesn't have any friends, does
No,
he?
no, his friends are dolls.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah,
of sad.
it is.
Yeah, but that's just because that
Yeah,
little girl messed him up so bad when he was a little kid that like he
yeah,
became, like kind of in himself because nobody would really understand. And then Marin kind of she understands like his obsession, like, and she even says like I don't have the exact quote, but it's something among the minds of, that's cool that you're into that, and you shouldn't let anybody talk bad to you about being a super fan.
yeah. It made me wonder. It's such a sensitive like thing when you're a kid, and it's like you're trying to like be yourself and figure that out, like what you like doing and what you're interested in. And I can see why something like that coming from a girl would like really affect him from a young age, to the point where he would just like be completely
Closed
like you
off.
said,
Yeah,
closed off and introverted, kind of like
yeah,
a, yeah, really avoidant. But like that's where the show gets interesting, is when Marin like takes this interest in him, when she notices like he's doing like sketches and stuff. And yeah, it's cool. It's a cool dynamic because you're right, she's not ashamed to be herself,
not at
is
all.
she?
It's something
Yeah.
pretty admiring because I know a lot of people that are, especially in anime, they're either so another rom com anime that was good until the last three episodes. My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. The main girl in that is unabashedly a, a huge anime otaku, but in her school life, she's completely closed off, and nobody will know that she's a huge nerd. She would never show anybody at school that she's a huge nerd. She hides that life, and it's very refreshing that a popular girl in an anime is not afraid to be a huge nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it is. It goes against, like I said, it goes against the stereotypical framing these characters usually have in shows like this. I think it even applies for like other stories as well, not just anime.
Hmm.
Just other representation of like male and female characters in
Right.
school or whatever. But yeah, I must say, like the first few episodes really got me hooked. To be
Okay.
honest, I think I watched this a while ago, but I sort of like forgot to finish the rest of it midway. I think I saw like the first four episodes, and
Mm,
then I kind of like lost track of getting back and finishing the
right.
rest until you reminded me and recommended it, and then I went back and saw the whole thing
Mhm.
to finish. And yeah, what was what's your impressions on the whole story
So,
once?
when I finished the first night, I was like, okay, well, now I gotta wait for the dub. And watching the show, it's just like I was watching it week to week. So every week, sometimes I get a seasonal anime that I watch every week. For like instance, for right now, I'm watching ReZero because it's the newest season of that. And then in any other anime that I've seen, like a second or third season, I'm watching it, like Oshinoko, for instance. So this is a show that I'm watching every week, but I'm not watching it every week because it's I want to know what happens on the next episode because I'm like caught in suspense. No, I want to watch the next episode because it's a good hang. Like it's an enjoyable, very easy to watch show that I know, just like Spy Family, I know at the end of the episode I'm gonna feel better. Like I'm gonna have the same emotions that Marin has, being just overwhelmed in emotion and trying to hide it the best you can and being, boy crazy for lack of a better term. And I remember like that in high school, just having like the hardest of crushes of girls that, I could never entertain or even think about trying to ask out or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose like what I liked about it. So once the thing is, once you get familiar with the tropes, like I said, if you watched these kind of slice of life shows, you kind of come around to know what to expect, and
Yep.
you know that they're not going to do. It's not going to be plot heavy, and it's not going to be as dramatic as you might want it to be, which I suppose is like there's a bit of a give and take element here. Like you're sacrificing on plot and good writing for story, but
Mhm.
you're compensating that by giving really good building really good characterization
Mhm.
and really like giving more texture to these characters that they may not get if the story focused more on just the plot, which is the good thing because the show can afford to like it's like you can hang out with these two people and just like live like they live, feel what the
Mhm.
world is like through their lens. And I guess you're very accurate. I mean, you're very right in saying that, you watch it because it's a good hang, and that's what it is.
Mhm.
It's a feel good show. But what I really liked about it was like how both of them are clearly in love with each other, or they
Yeah,
you
they're good
see
together.
they're really good together. They have good
Yeah,
chemistry, but you see how they both like develop feelings for each other, but they're acknowledging and accepting it differently in their own way. So
right,
it's not like they both like meet in the middle ground and are able to build something right away. You see, like, you know, Marin, I think once she hears him compliment her about her dress, her cosplay, I think it really like it affects her, and then she
Mhm.
starts to realize that she's actually developing feelings for him. And it's the
Right.
same thing with him. He's like he's realizing it in his own way as well. And I thought that was really natural
Mhm.
because that's one of the hardest things to show. It's not as cheesy as just like showing, oh, like I'm head over heels for someone. Like it's complicated. It
Yeah,
happens in its own. It sort of happens in its own way because everyone processes emotionally these feelings very differently. Like they all have their own sort of time and headspace to think about another person and feel these things. It doesn't just happen like how you always see it in the movies. Like it's something you like as you age and as you grow with experience. It's kind of like you process it in your own way. You can't really define it. So that's what I liked about it. Is like as the show went on, you saw like both of them. It happens in bits and moments. Obviously,
mhm.
there's some moments that are
Like
really quirky
the
and funny, and
then really heartfelt, like maybe the subway, like on their ride
Mm,
home, he calls her beautiful, and then yeah, earlier in the episode, he was like, "I don't normally call things beautiful unless I really feel 'em." Like that's like
yeah.
one of his things where
And he only
people,
says it because he's sleepy, but he means it.
yeah,
That's because he would never say it consciously because he knows how that would make him feel like really
right.
exposed.
It'd make him feel very,
Yeah.
like you said, exposed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would take a lot of courage for him to willingly admit it. But at that point,
Mhm.
when he's tired and he's like, and that's funny how that sort of plays into the ending of the first season, the whole sleeping, and
I
it's
love you,
maybe that's when people are the most like
Yeah.
vulnerable when they're like tired and
Oh yeah.
the subconscious
Well, you're
gives them
drunk. That's essentially what it is. Once
yeah,
once you've been awake for a certain amount of hours, you're basically drunk, and the truth comes out.
that's
I
true. That's true.
many a time have I've spent time with a girl, and we've been up for over 24 hours, where I feel my most vulnerable, and I say my most sometimes regrettable things that I can't take back.
More regrettable or more vulnerable.
More vulnerable usually. I'll put my foot in my mouth, but that's just John things. I do that when I'm not
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I'm sure you have like a few that you regret like saying stuff.
No,
To
not
people.
really. They usually don't remember the next day. 'Cause alcohol is probably involved.
Right, right.
And I'm
Yeah.
the sober one, so I gotta be the did this happen? And then I'll go, nope.
Ah, you gotta gaslight them and be like, no,
Sometimes,
no.
sometimes. I don't know. But not for evil. I'd only gaslight to not make it as
Yeah,
awkward as it needs to be.
yeah, yeah. I get that.
Yeah, yeah. I think Marn falls first, though. She falls
Yeah,
goo goo
yeah.
for him. and she gets it's called like Bashojo eyes. Like you just see him in the perfect light all the time. And everybody
Yeah.
has those hard kind of crushes.
But
So I
she's
can
still
kind
bro zoning him though. I don't get that.
yeah, yeah, no, she is for sure friend zoning him.
Yeah. Which
And
is
and she's teasing the shit out of him with like the being in the swimsuit and like the measuring. And I'm just like, oh my god,
yeah.
like this is funny, but this is also like kind of awkward.
Should we talk about the excessive fan service in
Sure.
the what's your take on it? Because this is like
Well,
one of them ones that actually makes
as
it popular,
yes,
and
yes.
there's a big
Well, I don't feel like the fan service is gratuitous. It's definitely there. There's like I said, like that whole scene where he's like measuring her measurements for cosplay because he's gonna make her an outfit. And you can't just not measure her. And whenever she's even saying, like, whenever I measure myself, I always get the numbers wrong. And he doesn't want that. He don't want to waste materials. And it's some animes it's really bad, like when
well,
it's
unlike most
borderline
ecchi
porn.
shows,
Most
unlike
ecchi
most,
shows. Prison
he's
School
not.
is pretty gratuitous.
It is, but it's also legendary in its own right. But
Yes,
that
yeah.
being
And
said,
you're watching that show for a different reason.
I mean that's a show about brotherhood, man. It doesn't
Yeah.
get more
Yep. I'm
legendary
an
than
ass
that.
man
But
myself.
wait, you're a what?
I'm an ass man myself.
Oh, right. Okay, I don't blame you. But what was I gonna say? I was like, yeah, unlike most etchy shows, the male character is usually yeah, in most etchy shows, the male character is usually kind of a perv,
Yeah.
but
I don't think
Gojo's not.
Gojo. No,
No,
no.
he's actually very considerate and
Yeah, he's
self-aware.
wholesome for sure.
Yeah,
Like if a
yeah.
girl's taking a bath, that does happen, and that is a trope in slice of life like rom coms. Like when Gojo walked in on the Juju, and yeah, that was like a
I just thought I
ridiculous
was
scene.
yeah, that was
And
just
I'm sure at the time the internet lost their goddamn mind, which I don't really blame them. But she's older than him. That's the funny thing.
but she doesn't look like it, does she? She
No,
looks like
no, she
she's
is the typical tsundere lolly archetype,
yeah.
and which is if you're not a huge anime nerd like I am, and I'm sure you're familiar with the Adi because you hung out with me enough times. Tsundere is being a huge bitch, but having like a soft, like nice side on the
Yeah.
inside that you rarely show to people.
It's usually to give a better example, it's usually shows where there's a male character and a female character, but the female character is intentionally like rude and really
Yeah,
like passive aggressive
and
towards him,
maybe
but
physically aggressive.
physically too, yeah,
Yeah,
possible.
yeah,
But deep down, there's soft feelings and
yeah.
there's like moments that sneak in where
Hmm.
you see that the female character actually does have feelings for this guy, but she's just not like ready to show it like in the open. Like it
Right.
comes out in like moments that you usually wouldn't suspect. But yeah, that's just a type of is it an archetype or is it
It's a character
personality?
archetype. It definitely is.
Right. Yeah.
So Casca, there's a couple like characters in anime from even like as early as the 80s where this character type has existed for a long time. Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion is the poster child of tsundere. There's
Mm.
many characters like that all throughout, not only just rom-coms, but every type of animes where there's some, even guys can be tsunderes. You can even call, like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z tsundere, because he's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
prick. But,
Yeah. And then
he
he turns good.
has, exactly, turns good. And, he has, moments of being a good dad, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah. And
but
then you even
it's
have like,
interesting and Marin is not though. Marin is
no,
openly just
no,
yeah.
she is. There's a what do you call it? There's like a fashion sense, like her entire attitude is. It's a can't remember the damn name of it. But it's the girls that wear like a lot of makeup and Gekakero, I think it's called.
Most girls?
I don't even remember. You're supposed to look like Jinx. That's the idea.
Oh, right. Like heavily
Yeah, heavily
heavily made.
makeuped.
Oh, right. No, I don't know what the term is.
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
like borderline like blackface sometimes. So it's,
oh
that's why
shit.
it's kind of
Okay.
like it's a big
Right.
like Harajuku like fashion statement,
Right.
and it's kind of like what her attitude is. Like they're very that type of girl is very expressive, very vocal, very in your face. And
Yeah.
Martin, like I said, unabashed.
Hmm. Yeah. That's just her
And
personality.
and then going back to characters, you have Juju's sister, San Sajuna, or however you say her name. She's the archetype where she's a younger sister who's way taller and, way more full formed than she is. But she's a middle school student, so it'd be weird to sexualize her. And she's often mistaken for her older sister because of how much taller she is.
Yeah. And she's
And
a photographer, isn't she?
yes, yes, she's a photographer. And they meet Juju because she goes over to Gojo's house and trying to find out who made that cosplay because they take pics of her Slippery Girls 2 cosplay, which is an eroge game, which eroge is hentai,
Which is
and that was
basically
kind of
porn.
wild. Yeah, yeah, it's a porn game, and watching Gojo make the study the porn game was really fucking funny because his grandpa like comes home and he's like, "Oh, you are looking at that a little too intently." He's like
Yeah.
studying like the outfits for the cosplay.
Yeah, I suppose. There's some awkward moments. There's a
Yeah.
lot of awkward moments in the show. What's your top 10? I mean, not top 10, sorry. What's the
my
what
my
ranks
my, my
as the number
favorite.
1? Yeah, yeah.
That one's pretty up there. It's a good question. Probably the most awkward is Juju being naked. That is definitely the most awkward. Just
That was
that
just
scene, you like see her body parts in his eye or whatever, and that's the most awkward for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it is a funny scene, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Is that how the manga is? Do
Probably,
you
I
know?
think so. I believe so.
So it's very male gaze, like very
Just for that scene, I guess.
right. No, not
Yeah.
just that scene, but there's a lot of like other shots that are like,
Or like,
you know.
yes, yes, titillating. Male gaze, the nape of the neck. Oh,
Yeah.
show me the back of a woman's neck, and I can't control myself.
Oh my god. Right.
Yeah, that's
But
definitely a culture thing that we don't understand unless you do, because I don't.
it's so I don't know. It's so anime coded, isn't it? Because this is
I
something
think
that's
so.
been around in anime for like years now.
Yeah, yeah, because I think
They,
it's a lot to do
that's
with like covering up all of your body other than your neck. Because
yeah,
putting on like a
yeah,
yukata or like any of those type of outfits, you need assistance to put it on because that's how tight they need to put it on.
yeah, yeah. True. I mean, what I liked about I did like the fact that Marin, she's kind of like open canvas.
Hmm.
She looks. I like the character design. Like she looks really pretty in all the different forms and different like
The outfits.
costumes and
Yeah.
makeup and hair that she does. Yeah, the outfits.
Yeah, I
Um,
liked how when they learned more about like the cosplay, how much you can like transform your eyes. I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could put tape on your eyes to make you look more like an anime character. That's kind of cool.
yeah, yeah. Did it bother you though that the story doesn't really like once they meet up and once they become friends, that's like really exciting to see because their
Hmm.
chemistry is like really raw and unfiltered.
Hmm.
But like once the side characters join in and they start doing the other stuff
Right.
for the other cosplays, do you feel like the story kind of lost steam when it comes to like pushing it a bit more between Marin
I
and
think it might be heading more of like that a bunch of different girls, like the what do you call it? A harem, like that type. It might turn into a harem show.
yeah,
It's more of the lines where you have like a bunch of different girls having feelings for this guy, and he doesn't really pick one until like the final season or what have you.
but it
Um,
doesn't though. It doesn't really go that way.
no, not fully.
There were, there
Just
were moments in this show that I was just thinking, all right, now would be the perfect moment for this anime to turn
yeah,
into a horror anime, or
right.
for the
While they're
guy,
watching the horror movie, they're watching like
or the
The
guy,
Ring.
or the guy just turns out to be gay.
Okay.
Or
Or
something freaky, something
yeah.
like completely out of the radar or some shit
Yeah.
that
If this show is
something to
made by
shake up
Gano
the
Orbuchi from Madoka fame, that's where you get that.
yeah. Yeah,
It'd blow
alright.
you up. But I did enjoy the con. I think it was pretty spot on. I've been to a lot of cons, like you've said. This is what it's like: a ton of sweaty strangers asking to take cosplayers' pictures. Now they are saying I have a saying in the con community: cosplay is not consent. What that means is just because you're dressed up, that doesn't mean that you're there to be sexually assaulted. And you always ask permission to take somebody's photo. And don't
Yeah.
ever try to sneak a peek on someone that doesn't want their picture taken. So we call it dick move. Like, for instance, I went to Gen Con many years ago, which I've gone to plenty of times, and I saw a cosplayer that was Junko Hiroshima from a video game and anime that I really liked, Danganronpa. And she said, "Oh, I'm not interested in having my picture taken." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh," I was like a little let down, but I was like, "Oh, okay. I won't be a dick." And I didn't take a picture. And that whole weekend when I was in cosplay, I would hell yeah, take my picture. I don't mind. There was a bunch of guys going, "Oh man, I got to show my friend your Madoka cosplay because they're gonna freak." I'm like, "Great. I have hairy arms. I don't give a shit. I want the attention." And there isn't anything like having your picture taken while you're in cosplay because it's a little bit of acting, like you want to be the center of attention, and you're also dorking it up with a bunch of fellow fans. Like whenever you meet somebody and they also seen the same show, you guys can have a conversation about it. You can say such and such and do all the memes and all that. And the cons are great because it's the only place where I ever lost a deck full of trading cards and found them in the lost and found because some con goer didn't just put it in their bag and go home. Like, I'm lucky that con goers are, for the most part, they might be stinky, but they are respectful. And I did find it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's like it sort of pays homage to what it means to be into this culture of cosplaying. And you look at it actually like there's nothing to gain. They're not gaining anything from doing this. There's no money to be made here. I guess you could build
Right.
something from it, but they're doing it for the love and the passion of
Mm-hmm.
the game, which is cosplay. They want to express themselves, and they're both their values just like are in sync. Like this is Gojo's niche. He loves designing and creating these outfits, and he's really skilled craftsman, artisan,
Mm-hmm.
however you'd like to call him. And Marin's the perfect model, for his like
Yep.
she's the
She's
perfect
literally a
canvas.
model. She's literally
Yeah,
a model.
literally a
One of her
model, and
part-time jobs is catalog model work.
yeah, she's the perfect canvas for
Yeah.
his easel, and they're like, yeah, they're made for each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally made for each other, and that's what's really wholesome about watching it. Is like the show doesn't like there's a lot of shows that sort of take forever for the two to hang out and like really be building chemistry with each other. There's always like one's always chasing, the other's
Right. And then there'll be
always
that
that
trope
push
where
pull.
there's a misunderstanding.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there slightly is here, but it's not strong enough to really call
It's
it a
not so bad
misunderstanding.
that it is, oh, he doesn't like me.
Yeah,
It's,
it's kind of a minor thing
yeah.
that I guess most relationships would have at some
Yeah.
point. Like that's an important point to bring out, misunderstandings, because yeah, it's funny how stupid these misunderstandings can be if you
Yeah.
look at it. Something as stupid as that can and as something that one person may not perceive the same way
Well,
as what it's actually, and then you think all of a sudden like they're spiraling, and then
well,
the other person doesn't even
guys
know it.
aren't mind readers. That's the thing that some girls don't understand.
They're not. They're
These
not. You're
we
right. They're not.
straight up aren't. So
We're not.
sometimes a girl that you're dating will have a lot of like thoughts of what your intentions were or your actions or why you did something. And it's not because I'm an idiot that is intentionally trying to upset you. It's just I'm an idiot is what it is. And I didn't see that me doing something in such a way that like that would affect you in such a way that I could never foreseen in a million years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's so true. I couldn't agree more. I think, us guys, because we can only speak from our point of view. I mean,
Exactly.
it's like each one, like they're women. I can tell you, like their thought process is far more complex than us. Like we're like simple animals here.
Yeah,
you
from the
know,
male
uh,
perspective. Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
male perspective. So I can see why that could be like such a complicated thing where it could easily
And
lead to that misunderstanding. But in this case, though, there really isn't. It's more about both of them are still processing their feelings.
mhm. And
While
Marin almost being naked when he answers the door, when she answers the door to have him come over to pick up some DVDs, she's more concerned about her color contacts not being in and not that her tits are almost hanging out of her shirt, which
yeah, yeah,
which that was
that's
pretty funny.
funny. That's funny. But
Yeah.
it's also kind of like that's her character type where she's like
Mm.
the stuff she's concerned about is not what
No.
he's worrying about, and
No, he's
that's
just
like that's
like,
the comedy of errors.
your tits are out.
Yeah. And that's where the comedy of errors arises from.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and I enjoy the comedy. It's not for everybody. I think it's funny, and if I was drinking something, I might spit it out.
yeah, I mean, I just feel like I just wish the stories were like the first season. I get it's a nice, like it's good for the character building stuff, but I still feel like there's too many, like, I mean, I don't even know if I can criticize this because it's like, these sort of slice of life romance animes, they're kind of like that's what they are. They don't
Right.
they don't
Yeah,
really
it's
go
so
for
there's a saying that a famous YouTuber said about a show that it was a bunch of girls drinking tea and playing music. Love Live. Not Love Live. Shit, that's the Idol one. I can't remember the name of it, but it'll come to me. It's from many years ago. But he said it's girls drinking motherfucking tea. That's like half the show, and then the other half of the show is them playing music. Like that's what slice of life is. Like it's not like you said, necessarily plot driven.
it's not plot driven, but then what I don't like is when then they suddenly they always do this. So I watched another romance anime like I think it was a year ago, but it was called Alia Speaks in Russian Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the
Never seen
name
it.
of the it was actually kind of popular when it aired.
Okay.
I think it aired in the summer season of last year. But it was about these two, this boy and girl. They're both like classmates. But Alia is like a Russian girl,
Okay.
and
Transfer student.
she transfer student, exactly. And she becomes like good friends with this dude, and they're both like trying to, I think they want to be reps for their school and stuff. So they kind of become friends,
Mhm.
but she's kind of like a tsundere, like you said,
Okay.
a
Okay.
she's a typical tsundere. Like she finds him like, she's not like openly like, she has feelings, but she's not like
Right.
openly
She doesn't
expressing
want to
them.
show it.
She
Yeah.
does show it. She does show it,
Mm.
but she shows it in Russian. So
Oh, that's not helpful.
sh- she expresses it. No, yeah, it's not helpful, right? But she expresses it in Russian to him. But the
Mhm.
joke is this guy actually knows how to speak Russian because he
Lol.
learned because he learned he learned it as a kid because one of his close friends as a kid was Russian, and he was able to like speak Russian
Sounds
from
like
an
a
early age.
Russian propaganda anime.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually
Okay. It was a really
very
popular manga.
typical.
Okay.
It's a very typical. Yeah, I believe the manga is popular. It's very typical romance slice of life,
Okay. All
and
right.
and it's like once they become friends, you kind of see it. Like he kind of like he clocks it, but at the same
Mhm.
time, he also notices like she's into him, but they're both
Yeah.
like they're still very like there's this emotional push and pull and all that stuff. But what happens is like it builds suddenly towards the end, the last three episodes, it's like suddenly it's building to something, and you're like, oh shit, like like this is going somewhere, and it's like, and then the last episode comes and it goes nowhere.
Aw.
It's kind of like that, you know. So it's something that I was aware of going into this show because I was like, okay, I got to kind of temper my expectations here
Right.
because
They're not gonna be
I
together.
no, it's not even about like that would be
Right.
too easy, right? Like what's the whole
Right.
point? Like either the show works really good if it was just like a limited 10 episode story where you
Mhm.
can show that and
And
and wrap it up,
it's 11,
or
so it's or 12?
sorry,
Yeah.
11. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like what I mean is like
Yeah.
like the story concludes in one season, like a
Yeah.
mini series where
Um,
it can just, go through. It just shows you the ending is they get together. But clearly this is not
mhm.
that type of show. This is a show which is very popular, which the manga I'm sure is going to have more seasons. It's already got
Yeah,
a second season, right?
there's
So there's
probably
still
4 or 5 easily you could probably put out of the manga. I don't know how much they covered, but yeah.
exactly. So, end of the day, who even knows? So, they might not even actually officially be together until like that last season, whenever that
Right, their
ends.
senior
Could be the
year.
fourth. Yeah, exactly. It could be the fourth or the
Yeah.
fifth or whatever season it
Yeah.
is that ends with. But until then, it's always going to be like this. It's always going to have like moments. I thought episode 11 was the most blue balling episode of the whole of the whole show, if you had to
Yeah, the
ask
Love
me.
Hotel. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Marin is such a dummy, Gojo's freaking out. Adi, you know what a Love Hotel is, right?
Am I supposed to know what a love hotel is?
You probably should know.
Of course I know,
Hata
I know.
exactly, the Hitachi wand. You're a learned man, you would know what that is.
Uh,
And then that was a dead giveaway what kind of room that was. And it was kind of surprising that 2 teens could book that hotel together. And Marin is lucky Gojo is a wholesome guy and not like a bastard. And he would have that could have took advantage of the situation.
no, but that I gotta criticize that scene though because it's so funny that he's like, oh yeah, I can get a really good angle if you get on top of me, and he's being like completely like
Yeah,
professional,
he's
and it's like
innocent and
he's
wholesome, and
innocent and
yeah,
wholesome,
and then he pops a
and he
boner.
only realizes, yeah, he only realizes it like much later.
Yeah, no, I was laughing pretty fucking hard that
Which
episode.
is like, come on, dude. Like, what do you think is happening here? Like,
Right.
this is perfectly set up for something that's leading to something, but
Right. And
like,
she's teasing Jan and
it
oh yeah.
actually, it actually low key made me wonder if he was putting up an act. If he was just going with
Okay.
it. I don't think he is, obviously, because the
Right.
character's not meant to be written that way, or
No,
doesn't come across
not at
that
all.
way. That
Not
he's
that they show.
got
No.
ulterior intentions or whatever, or he's trying to put up
Right.
an act. But it is kind of funny how it plays out, and they end up in a rather
Compromising position.
that's perfectly worded compromising position.
Yeah.
Were you
And
expecting the fireworks to go off?
it's ended with a phone call. Do you want more time?
Did
And
you
they're
expect the
hearing
fireworks to go off that scene?
no,
No.
not at
Would that
all.
be too easy?
In the Dojin, it definitely did, but not in this show. Yeah, the Dojin, I did a little bit of research, as you could call it, and I did find it, and I wasn't surprised. Dojin's like a fan made like porn. So yeah,
Oh my god.
I was
Dude,
curious.
you know all these technical terms in Japanese, man. It's I
Yeah, yeah.
gotta
Well, yeah, Dojin
I
is
gotta hand it off
it's
to you.
short for Doishi, which is so when you go to cons, they have like an entire like artist alley, and then they have like a artist alley, and then you could just buy fan made porn basically. But yeah, of course, you have to be of age, which I think it's
Bootleg
like
it.
18 or 20 there. And it's none of it is above. It's all under the table and cash. Like it's not official because they get sued into the
It's a
ground.
black market. So it's a black
Yeah,
market
yeah. It's a black market. Oh yeah.
for homemade porn. That's what it is.
Yep. And it's it's these artists
So
that
you mean to say all these things happen in these love hotels?
not in the love hotels. No, no, that happens at
Okay.
cons. No, in the
At
love
cons.
hotels, it's all prostitutes and businessmen for the most part, and
Right.
sometimes dumb teenagers that are taking pictures in it.
I still don't get how they let
Well,
these
it's
two
because the
dumb
love hotels are
teenagers in
so
this.
cheap. You pay by the hour. and it's like like 50. It's like $5 for an hour or something. It's very low amount of money. Maybe it's like $5. It's like 500 yen, something like that.
That's ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, exactly. And then, if you want to take a break or whatever, you might have moaning on the other side of your walls, but maybe that's what you need. He even accidentally turns on the TV and it's porn. Because of course it is. He's like, "Oh, my
Yeah.
virgin eyes." That's basically what he said. And then he like turns down the volume. He's just interested.
No, but it
He's
is
a
it is a
man.
bit no, but it is a bit like I find it a bit sus. The guy's so afraid
Yeah.
of that. It is a bit sus.
Well, a lot of like I think that might be a lot of the culture in Japan where it's very repressed. Like
Yeah. We
even
spoke
like
about it. Yeah.
exactly, like hugging in public is frowned upon.
Yeah, show of public affection, I
Yeah,
guess,
that's why
is
holding is so lewd.
yeah.
Like something I take for granted in the States.
I mean, come on. I mean, I read like in Japan, if you're in like the trains, it's considered rude to even like yeah be on your phone or like
I'm
you know
when I
pick
go
up
to
the phone.
Japan because I will. I'm gonna be the rudest fucking I'll be not a tourist.
Don't
I'll be
be
a
don't be
terrorist.
don't be
Is
like
what I'll
that.
be.
Don't be like that American tourist video that went viral where he was like, well, this one woman was like literally chasing a Japanese citizen who was dressed in like traditional. I'm not sure if it was a yukata or it was like some sort of a traditional clothing,
Okay.
but they also had makeup on. It looked like
Oh, a geisha.
geisha. Sorry, geisha. That's the right word.
Yeah.
He was literally chasing a
Geisha and a
geisha
geisha. No, that
on the
does sound
streets
like
and
some Twitch streamer shit. And there's a guy that did that
Gen
in
Z
Korea,
bullshit.
and he's going to jail. He's going to Korean jail.
Oh, he's going to jail. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. That guy's one of those guys is going to jail. One of them is
Serves him
being
right.
made an example of, which is good.
It is good, yeah. I mean, you don't
And
want to see
speaking
stuff like
about
that.
yukatas, Marin in the yukata looked great. I liked her
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
10 out of 10.
I think out of all the outfits that she wears, I thought that was my favorite when
I
she wore that.
I did like the one that she wore in the Love Hotel. I did like that because it, like he
Yeah,
was saying, because the way Gojo made that outfit, he made it more like the manga panel. Like it wasn't, it was sexy, but it wasn't. It was more true to the panel and not just like etchy for being etchy.
it was true to the character that they were
Yes, yeah, that's yeah, like he said, true to
trying
the character.
to trying to emulate. Yeah, that's the
Yeah. Mhm.
it's the art. This is where the show, there is real there's real interest and dedication towards this. It's not just cosplaying for the sake of cosplaying, is it? They
Right.
actually care about like all I mean, even though I don't remember the titles and the names of whatever they're
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to copy,
yeah,
but
they go
there's
into
genuinely
pretty big detail, which is kind of impressive. Like not anything that I would ever attempt because making a prop sounds like a nightmare or, trying to even see I can sew on a button and that's about it. And I'm not going any further than that. I will just buy my cosplay and make sure it's the right size. And I will go get it resized if it's not the right size.
yeah. I could see why.
Yeah.
I mean, true that's where, that's why that's why I always look forward to Halloween because I think that's like the best
Yeah.
when everyone's putting in the effort to dress up.
Yep.
But
It's my
you're
favorite
right.
holiday for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people's. But
Mhm.
you're right. I mean that's what cosplay culture is about, isn't it? It's like you wanna express that side. I mean, you could never actually be that's the best way you can
All right.
be that character is to dress up like them.
Exactly. Without being mentally deranged. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Are you saying you can't Naruto run out in the open where
Oh,
you're
I can
at?
dodge bullets.
It's quite a few around, is there?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. In America. Oh, I do have a Naruto headband somewhere around here. It's
you do?
Konoha. Yeah, Leaf Village. I have it from when I was 15. Yeah,
Right.
I worked at bought Naruto manga and headband from I bought that from Head Hot Topic, and I don't know if I threw it away. I might still have it, but it is the Leaf Village.
Mm. Cool. The Leaf Village. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I always like that other character in Naruto. What's his the guy who's more like he's more of a
Itachi,
Vegeta type. No, he's more of a Vegeta type.
Sasuke,
I don't know. Is he Sasuke?
Gara. Sasuke is the emo type.
Yeah, I think that might be the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, Emosuke.
Yes, him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
yep,
right.
Sasuke. Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's cool, but I just thought him more as like in Linkin Park coded.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I haven't seen that shit
Yeah.
in years
Speaking of
now.
cosplay is very expensive. Like I think I've only spent like $100 on my cosplay. I can't make them like Gojo, but I do
Like
love the
all
dresses.
time?
Yeah, yeah. I have like an $80 cosplay and I spent $20 on my other one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, like it's a proper outfit. Like it has everything down to the T.
Yeah. Yeah. I put on a pink wig and a dress. And I have a Cube plushie that hides my chest hair. It's great.
That fucking devil, bro. That
Oh
creature.
yeah. And so many
That
times did I have
creature's
somebody come
fucking
up and
devil.
go, fucking hate Cube. And I'm like, I do too. That's why I wear them.
But so what did you think of the last episode then? Because
I
it
liked
kind
it.
of,
It was
you
cute.
know,
Before that, they have the girl that takes the pictures, her sister. She wants to crossplay, which I was like, good on you, because I love crossplaying. And I don't know how, but they flattened her chest in such a way that she looked like a guy, which I was kind of blown away by. Like, how do you hide those things?
some magical
Yeah,
artistry from
pretty
from
much. I don't know how.
from
And
Gojo.
the camera that she's trying to buy, the DSLR, so it is 180. It's like 1.8 million yen, which is or is it? Maybe I'm missing a zero. It's like $1,000 in American dollars, and I was like, oh my god, you're buying a crazy ass camera.
And
Yeah,
that doesn't involve the lens. That's just the camera.
yeah, the lenses, and oh my god, just buy
The
digital.
tripod. Yeah.
Fuck that. Just buy a digital. Just buy a 5 megapixel camera. You don't need anything crazy. Just take it with your phone.
Just buy a roll of film, man. Just
Yeah,
analog, old school. It's the
analog.
best.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I liked that last episode. It was pretty cute. He carried her. That's a trope in rom coms. It's like, hell yeah. Fireworks went off. Just like the relationship. Just fireworks everywhere.
Everywhere but in that episode 11.
Mhm.
That was the real
Yeah,
rage bait.
that was a real rage bait. And yeah, I'm sure if I read the Reddit post about that episode, it would just be everyone going, "What the fuck?" and all that, like all like freaking out.
I
And
mean,
I'm sure it was.
if I had to wait, because it came out in
A week.
2022.
Yeah.
No, it came out the first season aired in 2022, which
Yep.
was a while ago now. And the second season didn't air until like what last year? So there's like what a
Yes.
2.5 year gap.
Yep. That's
If
pretty
I had to
normal.
wait,
It's pretty normal for anime.
I know that's normal. Actually, it shouldn't be normal because 2.5 years, that's like a lot
Right.
for an
Well, just be
animated show.
happy it's not like ongoing shonen where they have filler for years.
But this is filler though.
Well, yeah, the whole show is filler.
The whole
But it's
show
not
is
filler in
filler.
this it's not in a sense that it's filler in a sense that it's deriving different from the manga. It's filler in the sense that the show's plot progression isn't as important.
Yeah, there is no real. I don't want to say effort, but there's no emphasis
No,
on plot.
there
There's
ain't.
more emphasis on moments
Mhm.
and character, which I think that's okay. I mean, it's a minor grievance for me because I still want to watch something that builds to something rather than just. I mean, I like it's like
All right.
I guess this is where it comes down to personal taste. But
All right. Are you ready for the top comment on episode 11?
from where?
Gojo's from Reddit.
Yeah,
Reddit,
go on.
the episode 11 discussion for
Okay,
My
yeah.
Dress Up
Go on.
Darling. Gojo's bulge has better animation than the Meliodas versus Escanor fight. So, for the people that aren't huge anime dorks, that's a fairy tale. And the last season of that show's animation was so bad, it was straight up
Hey,
Friends.
I haven't seen the new season of One Punch Man, but I'm sure it's even better than that.
Yeah,
Better
exactly.
animated than that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it had
Shame on
more
you, Studio JC or
JC
JC
stuff.
Stop or whatever the
Yep.
fuck your studio name is. How do you go from like prison school to One Punch
Right.
Man like
I
in
don't know.
quality? It's crazy.
Some take out one guy doing it. That's probably why. It had more frames of animation than an episode of X Arms. That's a notoriously bad animated show.
Or like that
Gojo's
Uzumaki show that went off the rails after the first episode.
gross. Gojo's boner will lift Sono Bisque over Attack on Titan and Karma ranking.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Oh my god. As a reward, Gojo will give his seed. What the fuck are these people? Oh, there's an image.
Are you
Gojo
sure we're in the
mastering
right
Arden.
subreddit here? Because this doesn't feel on point.
And then like the last episode, I'm sure it's going to be like, "Oh, that was so cute."
I want to see the reactions. Actually, I'm curious to know what the reactions are.
So the top comment for the last episode, episode 12. Well, this anime wraps up everything. Beach, check. Summer festival, check. Pool, check. Love hotel, check. And a freaking confession too, check. Because
Freaky. I hardly call it freaky.
she said freaking, not freaky.
Freaking. Okay.
I misspoke.
Freaking. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah, and she does. She confesses her love to him over the phone and he's asleep.
He's asleep.
Yep.
That's the key part. He's asleep.
Yep. And that happens a lot in really any anime, not necessarily even rom-com animes.
But you know, the key thing to mention here is that she knows he's asleep. So it's
Yeah.
not like she's saying it
No.
wonderfully.
No, but there
she's
are
like
shows where
wondering.
they do that and they're like sick or whatever and they're like, "No, I was
Again,
awake, I knew."
misunderstanding. It's a
Exactly.
misunderstanding. But it could have been a classic misunderstanding. It's like, oh, I opened up and I didn't even hear back. Like,
All right.
do they even like me? Like, you know, like it could have gone that way.
This
But
show doesn't do that.
it
I watched
doesn't do
second
that. 'Cause
season. It doesn't do that.
Okay,
Second
so
season's
now
more of the same.
that's what I was gonna lead to next. Is like,
Yeah.
what was the second season like?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, it's more of the
I don't
same.
know.
They get a little bit. I think he almost confesses to her. There's like
Almost.
yeah. He gets really jealous of her. Like some guy's talking to her, and he like defends her honor, and then he almost confesses to her on the spot.
But it doesn't in the end.
Yep. Maybe season 3. But like I said, I'm not
Rage
watching this
bait.
show.
Rage bait.
It's not really rage bait for me. I'm not getting angry. The show's really wholesome for the most part, and sometimes lewd. But for the most part, it's pretty wholesome. It's a good, easy to watch show. And I'm not upset every week that Gojo doesn't confess. He will someday.
Well, I'm sure they'll get married, and I'm sure it'll end in a fairy tale and all that. But
They're
until
not
then,
brother and
it's going to
sister. I'm all for it.
be. You don't want another season where they find out like they're both their
They're
parents are
cousins or
connected.
some dumb shit. No. There's so many
That
anime like that.
that
It pisses
that
me
wouldn't
off.
be that wouldn't be out of the cards though. No, considering how weird anime can be with the whole incest obsession some of these shows can have, which
Anime's
is
weird.
gross. Now, hopefully not. I mean, I don't know. Well, actually, the show. That's the thing that I always wondered as I was watching. Is like this show can go any direction, but it chooses to hover in that wholesome,
Yeah.
in that safe spot. But it can go in any direction. It can, take that bold swing if it wants.
For lack of episode 11, I would easily feel okay showing this to any of my family.
Only lack of
Episode 11, that's just for my dad.
Fair enough. So, do you want to go into ratings?
Hell yeah.
Should I go first, or do you want to?
You go. You know what? I've been going first a while. You can.
I'll go first. Okay. So, what I thought, My Dress Up Darling has an interesting niche. It's about cosplay, which is cool and underrepresented, in my opinion, when it comes to films and stories. I liked both the connection and the chemistry of both the characters of Gojo and Marin. I think they're meant for each other. I really enjoyed how they emotionally process their feelings differently, and all the moments build up to something wholesome. I must say I have minor frustrations with the lack of story, but then again, I can't really criticize it that way because, these shows, that's what they do. They're not really plot driven. They're more a hangout. They're more a feeling for the characters. Like you said, the shows like Friends or, sitcoms that normally, are not going to have drastic changes every week, but they're still a good time and they're still wholesome. Some of the fan service can be a bit like random, but overall, I'll give it I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
And I think
All right.
the story has potential to be really good.
Okay.
It's already good, but
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a
Like it
first,
get better. Yeah.
yeah, I think it can be better. I think it actually can be better. And this is just the first season. Who knows? I'm sure it's going to get better as it goes on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure in the manga they're married with the third season on the way. I generally enjoy this show. Watching it week to week has been something I look forward to every week when it comes out. Seeing how excited and fallen in love for Gojo, at least Marin being head over heels for Gojo was exciting. It was a nice treat. I'll watch the next season week to week as well whenever they announce it. Which I thought they announced it, but I get so confused. There's so many damn shows going on with third seasons. Romantic comedies, they're not for everybody, but this one does it really well. And it's not going to be really a question whether or not they're dating. As far as I'm concerned, they're dating from the first time they hang out. It's not really a
I think
question
they're
to
dating.
me.
I think
Exactly.
it's dating.
They're basically dating.
I think they're together without
Exactly.
actually saying it
Yeah.
verbally. I think it's all
Exactly.
there.
And just
Everything,
like
all the hallmarks of a relationship is there in
exact
their chemistry.
just like my relationship, it took like 3 months, and you're like, "So are we dating?" And I was like, "Yes." It's my dress up darling is so sweet. I almost have to like check if I have diabetes. That's why I got to give this one a 10 out of 10. It's as a rom com. I think this is pretty much the best rom com. If you enjoy this, you might also like another rom com, Komi-san Can't Communicate. And if you're feeling extra spicy, you can go check out Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
Does that have a
That
Love Hotel episode with fireworks?
Not at all. No, but there's a lot of like Don't Toy Me With Me Nagatoro. The first episode, he gets bullied by the main girl so hard he cries. And then
Oh
Komi-san is
no!
about a girl that exactly it's somebody's fetish, but that show gets wholesome over time. And
Wow!
Komi-san Can't Communicate. It's about a girl that doesn't want to talk to anybody, and she slowly gets a bunch of friends, and it's about like being socially anxious around people. And some people can relate with that a lot, but that's also like a cute comedy show. And I think that concludes our review, unless you have anything else to say.
I just want to say, yeah, I think your mileage may vary when it comes to these type of shows, but I do think when I say 6 out of 10, I do want to clarify. I like this show. It is a good show, and I
Mhm.
would recommend it. It's a good time. So yeah, I just think that overall, I would like to see it when it ends, and I want to see it overall and then really judge it. But
Okay.
as a first season, that's what I thought. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
I just
Can
wanted to
only go
make
up.
that.
It can only go up.
Yeah, can only
On
go up.
that note, I'm going to go shave my beard and dress up as my favorite magical girl. See you, Space Cats.